go. Here we go. Victory Formation Podcast. It's your boy, Prescott, and that is Eddie. Say what's up, Eddie.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the podcast. Another slow week for the Dallas Cowboys, but not for the NFL. We're deep in the playoff mode.
Oh,
deep
yeah.
in playoff mode right now.
Final four. Final
God,
four.
Exciting games this
I
last
know.
week too, man.
It's like it's always like bittersweet because it's like it's near the end of the season where it's the good games, but then you're like in the back of your mind, man, I got 3 weeks of football left, and then I got to spend time with my family like some kind of animal.
No, what I think is like this last week when we watched the that boring ass national championship, it was like this is the end of college football right now until there's a few shrine games and all-star games that nobody really watches, but like that's the end until it starts again, right? So there's
talking about
big...
that game was good, man. Those are put them on his shoulders.
Kirk Cousins Jr. Fuck that dude.
I like that running back.
Good.
I like that running back that Miami has though. Number 4, he's pretty good. The one where they kept showing his mom over and over.
Did you see? I don't know if you saw the meme about the running back from Indiana when they shot him with his helmet off. They're like, "Who is this 48-year-old man?" Bro looks like he's like retired insurance. Like
That's the only downside to That's the only downside to the way college football set up now. Like, because Miami had a bunch of young like kids, 18, 19-year-olds, and Indiana had 23, 24-year-olds, which. Like looking like if you said it to somebody else, like that's not too big, but in the football world, that's a big difference. But that's like somebody.
That's a huge difference.
Coming out of high school,
go play
against somebody that's been in working in a field for like 3-4 years already.
Hell yeah! I mean, physically, you're physically dominated because you're stronger. Your body's able to create more muscle and strength. But
even if you're crazy strong in college, even when you get to the NFL.
That's the
in the beginning, usually you're a regular guy until you can, get used to the speed, build up some more strength, and so that matters to me.
Yes, sir. Well,
anyway,
let's get into a little bit of some NFL news that we've been talking about and reading about this week.
What's going on?
Hasn't been too much. I mean, obviously, like I said, we're in the high playoff mode right now. But before we get into that, there's been another high-profile coach got fired. Out of nowhere, right?
I did not see that coming, but I wasn't surprised. Let me put it that way.
I don't think it was McDermott that was the problem there.
I don't think so either.
I really don't. I think he was just, from what we keep seeing and hearing about throughout the week. I don't know if you saw those stories about how McDermott was. He was going in for the players that he had, like in the meetings that they were having, like he was, they brought him in, and I think the front office didn't like the picks, and they just threw him kind of under the bus. So we're gonna see. They promoted their GM to like the football operations manager of the
like super high. Like he sucks. Like someone showed a stat that since he's drafted Josh Allen, he's only drafted 2 Pro Bowlers, Cook and Knox, and somehow they gave him a promotion off of that. Like most people be like, man, that's terrible track record. You got to get out of here. But it's crazy how one play can cost you a job. Because imagine if Josh like that crosser at the very end of the game, it was like 30 seconds left, and he missed Dawson Knox for a touchdown. If he catches that ball, Buffalo wins.
Right over his head.
Yeah, and if he connects on that pass, which it was all on Josh Allen, like he wasn't hit or anything, he just missed the throw. If he connects on that, Dawson Knox scores, they win, and McDermott probably keeps his job for a whole nother year. So it literally came down to one play. Same thing
about
with the Baltimore guy. He missed the field goal, and they fired him the next week. If he makes that field goal during the playoffs, and he probably doesn't get fired. So it's like one play, even though it's accumulation of stuff. You can bring it down to one play as this guy got fired.
But you usually have some sort of idea, like this coach is on some sort of hot seat. Yeah. You've heard it. We didn't hear about McDermott. We didn't hear about
I didn't hear about
Harbaugh.
McDermott.
I didn't hear about
Me neither.
I mean, it was just. I understand there's a time frame where you're like, you're putting the same product out, and it's not getting you what you want. It's taking you to the division playoffs, or that it's just not getting you over the hump. So maybe bringing something else brand new in. But I mean, I think you and I come from the same mold where I think that these NFL teams are cutting ties with these coaches really quick.
Too quickly,
and not giving them
in my eyes
enough time to build. It's like if Jerry just said, you know what, Shoddy, I'm sorry, I gave you a year. Gave you a year to do what? Like, you brought in, like, it's going to take a couple of years for this to actually mold together and be cohesive.
Sports is just a weird field. Like, I mean, you can come in and be successful, but not successful enough and lose a job after 1 year, or you can be in the job so long that players really tune you out. That's the thing. After a while, like players tune you out, and you're not as effective as you was like 10 years ago. Speaking to players, plus especially if you've been in different eras, like Tomlin, he's been around long enough to where he was with the old school type players, and now he's with the new school type players, and his style might not mesh, and that's why he's not getting through to the younger players, and that's why he's getting with all these wide receivers all the time. The George Pickens, Antonio Browns. He doesn't have time for that foolishness.
It's like our generation, bro. And our generation is the only generation that is in between the two generations that are established pillars, right? Like
we are lucky.
The boomers, where they didn't have anything, and then these new guys that have everything. We were in the middle, and we didn't have it, and we had it all, and we were all in the middle. And I mean, that's what these coaches are like. It's like, Tomlin has the experience of all that, but can he really communicate with these new guys? Like, he couldn't handle George Pickens.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, and the players are just getting to be more like George Pickens over and over again. I mean, that's just the mentality of these players, because, and it's going to get worse with with college and not having to be, really loyal to teams and coaches and things. And once they get to the NFL, you're going to be like, you know what? I don't need to play for this coach anymore. Give me a trade. Give me I don't want to play here. It's going to be weird. But
because I mean, you know us. We come from the old school where you play on the team. The coach tell you to do something, you do it. Like, you don't go home and your parents complain. Man, the coach yelled at me.
Tell you the same thing.
Man, they've been like, if you don't get back out there, and it's like coaches don't consider feelings. You're on this team, you do what I say. Feelings aren't involved. But now, like, mental health is important. Like at some jobs now,
100%.
People take quote unquote mental health days, where some old school people like, a what day? Like, what are you saying? Like, you better get to work.
I was employed at this company in a real big city here in Phoenix, in Tempe. They had rooms where, not only nap rooms, they had rooms where you could go and you could, like, it was like an emotional like support room where you could go in there and
crazy,
kind of break down and shit. I'm like, there's breakdown rooms in here? Come on. Give me a break. People would be like, go have a smoke and come back when you're done. I mean, that's how it used to be.
Times have changed, man. Remember when Gannon put his hands on that guy on the Cardinals? And it was a huge story. Like, that was,
everybody was like, oh my God, you can't touch people.
I know. Bobby Knight used to do that every week.
My coach in high school used to hit us on the top of the helmet with his whistle. Over it. No,
man.
It doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but when you're in the helmet, it goes like over and over again. So, like, it's evolved.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying one's right, one's wrong. I'm just saying it was different back in the day. It was different back in the early 90s. It was different. Anyway, so what's going on? Playoffs. Let's talk. Playoffs.
Other thing. Let's talk a little bit about the playoffs, because I mean, obviously that's the whole point of football. We got
Final Four, baby. Who's left?
We're back. We're left at the AFC and NFC championships. We got Patriots versus Broncos. NFC Rams versus Seahawks. Who you got in the AFC right now?
Man, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed that Knicks got hurt, man. I saw you put in a Discord about that conspiracy theory about his ankle.
I don't know about it. I kind of look back at, like, they keep saying he was limping off the field, and you can tell a little bit of limp, but He almost kind of had that limp a little bit throughout the game, and then what they said, if not to cut you off, but the conspiracy was that now they're saying that Nick's was celebrating in the locker room, and that's when he hurt his ankle.
And that's when he broke his foot. Yeah, he didn't break it during the game like everybody said.
It could have been. Yeah, it was after like the when he went the press conference and all the interviews and everything. It was after that. So
for a little while, like right after the game, people were saying he broke it on the kneel down somehow. That was going around for a little bit. But then they debunked that, and so this is new that now he hurt it in the locker room sometime after the game, like when they walked through the tunnel in the back somewhere. That's when he broke his foot.
That's just bad luck. I mean,
man.
Something that's like somebody in Denver. That's the karma coming back to them for like that's
man.
Oh well.
Because I remember this kind of happened to Romo one time when he played our final game of the season. No, I'm sorry. It was a game before the final game of the season, and we won that game. And he was playing Washington, and he did this spin away thing, and this guy grabbed him by the leg, pulled down his sock, I remember, and he threw the game-winning touchdown to DeMarco Murray on 4th down in the corner of the end zone.
That, in the corner.
And then, but on that same play, he ended up hurting his back, so he was out for the next week, and we needed to win that game to get into the playoffs, and we lost, and we didn't go to the playoffs.
We lost to the Eagles.
Yeah, and so I was like, man, that reminded me of that. Because he made the game-winning play, but it was like one of those things where it's like he was hurt, and the adrenaline, like he didn't look hurt. He was celebrating everything, but then all of a sudden, all the alerts after the game, Romo,
you know why I remember that
hurt.
You know why I remember that so bad is that next week it was I think it was Cowboys Philly. There was no streaming options. I had to listen to it, and I watched the ESPN. You know how the ball like moves.
Oh, the game pass. Yeah. The
game
pass.
That's what I was watching. The whole game. That's what I was watching.
I think John Kitna was the quarterback then. I can't remember. But
something like that.
We ended up losing, and we needed to win that. If we had won the game, we would be in. We lost it, so we didn't make the playoffs.
Well, what about the NFC? What do you think? Who's going to win?
NFC, I say, I'm still riding the Seahawks train. It is. And so, but since they're in Seattle, I'm riding the Seahawks train. I'm hoping Darnold is injured again because he had a great game after Schefter dropped that alert. Darnold might not play like 2 hours before the game. And I was like, what? And then he ended up playing, and they ended up doing great. They killed San Francisco, and which made me very happy. I was so happy. Three teams that I wanted to lose lost. Green Bay, Philly, and San Francisco. All three of them lost. All three of them lost spectacularly and greatly, and it made me happy. So that helped it. But I think it's going to be Seahawks and Patriots. And I think Seahawks is going to
I've already seen that. We've already seen that Super Bowl, haven't we?
Yep, we did. That was the goal line stand.
The interception. Just run the fucking ball and you throw it.
Yeah, and they try to get cute at the 1 yard line. But I would be even like I have some Patriots fan in my life, and I would be ecstatic if Jason Statham, the transporter, whatever his name is, if somehow he could beat his old team and take Denver to the Super Bowl. But for ratings and game quality, I don't want that. I just want it because I'm petty and I want the Patriots to lose because they've been good for a long time. They need to go through an extended period of sucking. It's not fair they got a quarterback this quick.
I think that, whatever. We'll get into that later. Again, I'm gonna pick the Patriots because I've been picking the Patriots all off season. Nobody's gonna beat them.
They've been showing me something. You've been showing me something. And, they've been showing me something. I didn't think they were this good.
It's just a combination of the running backs and the way that they complement each other. The receivers, they don't just have. I mean, they have Diggs, which is that flashy. He's going to make a play. He's going to yell at somebody. Yeah. He's going to get a penalty. But that guy. But
Booty's been better than him to me.
That other kid, number 9, is ridiculous. I mean, the balls that he catches and the separation that he gets as a big body receiver like he is, shit. And then it's just Drake May making play after play after play. It's the Patriots didn't even want to draft him. They wanted J.J. McCarthy. So it was like they accidentally got him. But I'm picking the Patriots over the Broncos, obviously, because, I mean, if Knicks was playing, it'd be a little bit different. I think it would be a little bit more competitive. But NFC-wise, Rams, Seahawks, God, my head keeps saying the Seahawks defense is really good.
They are.
They're heart legit. Keeps saying that the Rams offense isn't going to allow that team to lose. So
if the Rams can run the ball, they can win.
Yeah, what I think is that the Rams can overcome the defense's lack of being able to stop Seattle. Seattle's offense, I don't think, can overcome the Rams, tearing that. I mean, if they, you know what I mean, it's just, I think the Rams are going to be, I think it's going to be Rams, Patriots in the Super Bowl. So write it down, take a picture.
Rams, Patriots. Boo.
Yeah.
It was a big piece of news that dropped today. Ayuk. I was thinking about him for the Cowboys.
Oh yeah. If we sign George, we don't need
49ers. When the 49ers GM already said that he's already played his last down for the Niners.
He's like, he's not even a thought of this at this time. So I don't even know why he was a thought all year. It was a strange relationship.
And they just paid him too. That was the crazy part. They just paid him.
It was weird.
But anyway.
But let's get into just a little bit of Cowboy news so that we can get into some of these.
The meat of our show.
We went ahead and we're going to do another deep dive into some candidates.
Yeah, two more defensive coordinators, and we'll get to that. Not too much on the Cowboys front. One, your boy got released by the Packers after playing one down in the playoffs. They released him. So Diggs is back on the market, and we'll see if that, works in our favor. Depends on who the new DC is. They might try to do a reunion if they need one. Let's see. And then the other thing, Jake Ferguson, he got added to the Pro Bowl roster. So add another Pro Bowler for us. I think that's 5 total.
It's because
Dak Pickens.
He got picked up because of that 49er tight end.
Yeah, got hurt. So he got added as an injury replacement. And then Booker, he made the all-rookie team as a guard.
Nice.
So those are three good things. Nothing, no bad news. So that was good.
That's good news. So that's good stuff to think about. The only other thing that, we talked about it. We talked about it. Let's get into how some of these coordinators are. I think we've had 3 or 4 in-person interviews in the last 2 or 3 days. Now these are like almost second interviews because everything up front was like phone or Zoom.
I actually got it here. Let me tell you who we've talked to. So they've requested a bunch of people, but they've where is it at?
Even the new one, even the new one today that you told me about. I mean, I had no idea McDermott was like a D coach, a defensive coordinator coach.
Oh yeah, so. He was a really good one. Like he started off with the Eagles, and he got really good under the Panthers, and that's how he got the job as the Buffalo head coach. He was a very good defensive coordinator there. So that he would be one, but that news just dropped. So that's not part of our deep dive. If we haven't picked one by next week, that might be a deep dive next week. But he is definitely one who I would seriously consider. But it depends on if there's one of the many head coaching vacancies want to make him a head coach. Because, of course, chances are they'll take a head coach over a DC. But we'll see how that goes.
And again, it really goes to, what are the owner and what's the trajectory of the team? Because sometimes they do want a D coordinator with head coaching experience or vice versa, things like that. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes we're starting over and we don't want you to bring your bad news or your bad, things that you do with the other team. They saw that if they look at the Bills' defense, they're like, hey, the last 4 years you hadn't been able to stop anybody. We're not bringing you over for defense. So we'll see.
So
the only thing I wanted to mention before we go down the list, one thing I do want to mention before we do that is I think that the NFL should stop the communication and the negotiations before the playoffs complete. If you think about it, I mean, how distracted can you be? I know they have officially you can't really like. There's time frames when you can and can't interview these guys, but it doesn't mean that it's not in their ear, it's not in their brain and their mind.
Because they know they're going to get like a Jim Leonhard knows he's going to get a bunch of interviews once he's done. So he's got in the back of his mind while he's planning for the championship game. Yeah, so that can be kind of distracting.
Why wouldn't we just do like a week after the Super Bowl ends and free for all? Like, there's no reason to do it all right when the season ends. It just doesn't.
Teams don't want to wait. They don't want to wait.
Fuck the team. You just got to make rules. That's the way it is.
So this is how it is with our list. So Jeff Ulbrich from the Falcons, they denied the request because they gave him their defensive coordinator position. Yeah. So he stayed with the Atlanta Falcons. Christian Parker, the deep dive from last week, he set up with a second interview. They were very impressed with him, so they set him up for a second interview. Daronte Jones, Vikings defensive pass game coordinator, they set him up. Man, they said that they were very a lot of the beat writers said they were very impressed with him, and they set him up for a second interview. Jonathan Gannon, he's been set up for a second interview.
We just had it yesterday.
Yeah, and they said they're going to bring him in for a second interview. Zach Orr, he's set up for his first interview, so they're going to interview him. This is weird. Charlie Bullen, he's the Giants' interim defensive coordinator.
I think they had a phone interview or Zoom interview already with him.
And so they're going to interview him. Another guy, Packers run game coordinator, defensive line coach. His name is DeMarcus Covington. They had an interview with him. Set up with him. They haven't interviewed him yet. And
are you sure?
White Cotton. Yeah. I'm looking at it.
All these have already happened, bro. Like White Cotton,
Covington,
and the Giants guy.
You know what I'm saying? DeMarcus Covington hasn't been interviewed yet.
Okay.
And that's the Packers run game coordinator. White Cotton has been interviewed. Jim Leonhard, of course, he hasn't been because he's still in the playoffs. And Brown safety coach Ephraim Banda. They want to interview him. So that's the list of all the people.
What's funny is that the Falcons are just bringing over the Browns coaching staff because they just signed the offensive coordinator. Stefanski went, and then the offensive coordinator is moving over to Falcons.
Pees. They just signed him like maybe 3-4 hours ago. I saw the alert.
You talking about Reese? Tommy Reese?
Is it Reese?
Yeah,
R-E-S or P-E-S? It was one of those. It was like that.
He used to be a quarterback for Notre Dame, and then he's an offensive coordinator. But
I saw the alert.
That's why I was like, they're just moving the whole Cleveland Browns coaching staff to just moved them to Atlanta, basically.
It's gonna be Atlanta, Cleveland North.
Did you see Baker calling out Stefanski, saying like,
I'll see you, coach.
He's like, I'm gonna see you 2 times a year,
twice a year, bro. Twice a year, bro.
About that. And then also the Bills owner is getting the Jerry treatment right now.
Oh, like, man.
Series like that. The media is like all over him right now.
Threw the guy under the bus. It was crazy.
And then last one was, I was thinking this in the back of my mind, and then as soon as I typed it into the Discord, no, I'm not kidding. Like 4 minutes later in Facebook, I saw a meme about it. Will Aaron come back to the Steelers because Mike McCarthy is going to be the coach? That would be a kind of a for his final year, kind of a match. He knows McCarthy's offense. He knows how McCarthy works. He's going to just walk right into it. I think it would work really well.
I think it would too. Like if I was him, I'd go wherever McCarthy went. But we'll see. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now we get to the meat. We get some steak. So we're going to break down two defensive coordinators. Like last week we did Parker and we did Leonhard. This week we're going to do Gannon, and who do you have?
I have Deronte Jones.
Deronte Jones. All right.
He's the DB passing game coordinator for the Vikings. So, what I was thinking about to see who would go first. Let's paper rock scissors. 1 out of 1.
Okay.
One go. You ready?
You ready?
Ready.
Right.
Paper rock scissors.
Scissors. Go.
Yeah. Got to go again.
You all right? 1, 2, 3.
Got you. Okay,
I'm
going
won.
first.
All right, you go first.
All right, so I did a deep dive on Daronte Jones. He was kind of a newer name that was brought in. He is the passing game coordinator and the DB coach for the Vikings. He is his background was he is a player, a coach. He started coaching at Wisconsin. He moved over to work with the Dolphins. He was working with the Bengals, and then he moved over to the Vikings, where he started coaching the DBs. Right after that, in 2021, he actually ventured out to LSU, became the defensive coordinator at LSU for a year. That was right around COVID. So I think that had to do with, it was kind of a weird situation. LSU needed like a crossover coach, so they got him for a year. And then he went back to the Vikings and has been with Flores since he's been there. And I think he started that relationship out with Flores at the Dolphins. So
yep.
He's a Flores disciple. What that tells me, and I mean, we both like when coaches are coming from a tree that it has shown a lot of success in the NFL, whether it be offense or defense, right? Shanahan trees, things of that nature. The Flores tree I believe is going to be something that starts to become prevalent in the NFL. What he brings and what Flores has taught is complex defenses. It's not the same cookie cutter defenses that a lot of teams run. Even though, I mean, NFL is NFL, football is football, and the defense is there's no magic equation. The players are going to have to play where they're put. But what Flores is really good at doing, and what he's taught Jones, is that the more complex the defense, you can set it up so it looks like it's the same thing that these NFL teams have always been seeing, right? The biggest thing about him is that his schemes are really heavily influenced by disguise. And that really right there is exciting to me, because what that tells me, remember when our offense it was just stagnant. We wouldn't move anybody around, and we were just really predictable. First down, we're going to run the ball. Second down, we're going to throw the ball. Third down, if it's short, we're going to run it, or if it's longer, it's just the way that we were. The way that the Vikings now do is they'll set something up, and then the quarterback comes up and sees it, and then starts making his calls off of it. And before the quarterback has the whoever's in his ear until the 15th second of
15
the play
seconds.
clock.
Yep.
Cuts off. That's when the Flores' defense says, "Oh no, just kidding, we're in this defense." And then the quarterback's like, "Oh shit, I only have 7 seconds to snap this ball. I can't change the play. I don't know who's coming, who's not coming. I don't know who's getting covered." That's Flores' defense, and that's what really excites me about it. He uses the rotation of his safeties a lot in his formation. So the quarterback sees what the quarterback is seeing is he's seeing umbrella coverage. He's seeing a shell, but he's really not seeing where the blitzes are coming from. If they've gone back and kind of interviewed some of the quarterbacks, and even Dak said it himself, he's like, the hardest time that I had trying to determine all year was when I was playing the Vikings. I didn't know what they were coming with, and where people were coming from. What his defense does is it wants and he demands quarterbacks to be confused. He's very aggressive with his blitzes, but what makes sense to me is he's not predictable about it. Like Zimmer was a very aggressive blitzer, but it was always we always knew when it was coming.
Yeah,
right?
double A gap.
It's coming. We can see it. So that's a big deal. He requires his DBs and linebackers to be very versatile. He needs them to be able to play man or zone. He doesn't really favor one or the other. He wants a DB that's able to switch it up easily, even in drives. Right, it's not going to be a heavily zone or heavily man. He does really focus a lot on turnovers and plays for loss. The biggest thing that I hated about Eberflus' defense was the bend don't break. This is not a bend don't break defense. That's the biggest thing I want to make sure that people are understanding is that
praise the Lord.
This defense
praise the Lord.
Yeah, we're not going to give up 45 yards to get the ball back, and the biggest thing about that, and I'll get into that in a second, but he prefers man heavy scheme to make sure that he's keeping the QB guessing. Man's easier to blitz off of with zone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Brings a proven defensive scheme with fresh new ideas, that's what I'm talking about. Is like he's bringing Flores's scheme, but he has fresh ideas like moving the safeties around and changing the way that things look. Right, I'm sure that he's very valuable to Flores, and if Flores stays in Minnesota, like I'm thinking he might, this is gonna be a big loss to him if this guy leaves. It's his ideas are don't back down mentally. That mentality, that's a big thing. And then the last couple things is the reason why I really like this candidate. The two reasons why. It's just like our offense when we were needing motion, and we were pretty predictable until we started moving players around. Our defense needs this too. We need unpredictability. We need that surprise motherfucker like mentality. We need it. We don't have it right now. It will really help out our pass rush. I mean that's what we were really lacking in last year. And then the other reason why I really like him is his aggressiveness versus the bend don't break. I really wanted my want, if I could open up a Christmas present and it be the Cowboys defense, is I want this to be a defense that competes. It's not something that the offense needs to make up for. And I mean, that's really what our offense was doing last year, right? Dak had an MVP year, and he had to make up for the defense that was lacking. So
seemed like he was just playing to keep up with the other offense as opposed to dictating. I hated that.
Well, yep. But that's Daronte Jones in a nutshell for me. What we're getting is a younger Brian Flores,
which is good.
That's what I'm thinking.
You've been listening to the podcast when the season ended, and we listed six people that we wanted, and I said that my number one person was Brian Flores. Like if we could get him somehow, that'd be great. But I didn't think we were going to get him, so he didn't make our six because we were trying to pick realistic defensive coordinators we could get. But in the perfect world, I would have picked Brian Flores over everyone, like lickety split, like no hesitation, get that guy first. So we can get, Brian Flores Light or Brian Flores Jr., then I can live with that. I can live with that if he can bring that defense here.
And when we first started this, I said Gannon was my pick, right? And I mean, I flipped a couple times. So I mean, I'm excited to hear what you kind of dug up about Gannon, because if you talk to fans, it's either, oh my God, I would love him, or oh my God, don't you ever even say his name.
That's true. I've been seeing that. It's been weird. A lot of people, even people who I respect, like I listen to their shows, and like they're like, yeah, I'm not too high on Gannon for this reason, and he's the most polarizing of the defensive coordinators, to where either they love him or they hate him. The other ones, like when the guy you just said, a lot of them are like, oh, he's good. If we got him, I could see it working type stuff. Like they feel like they're going to come around. But some of them are like, nope, no Gannon, whatever. Or everybody's like, yes, please get Gannon in here ASAP. He's the most polarizing one. So I'll tell you in a minute why he's so polarizing. But you still got some more for him?
No, I'm ready.
For you guys?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm ready.
All right. So we got Jonathan Gannon. And he's actually had a pretty long, successful career in the NFL. Like he wasn't one of those that's been in college, like Leonhard I did last week, was in college for a long time. He recently joined the NFL, so he doesn't have a bunch of NFL experience. But Gannon has a lot. He's been around since 2012. No, I'm lying. Since 2007.
Yeah, I was gonna say
2007. He was with the Falcons. His very first professional
19
job.
Years. Damn.
Yeah, he was with the Cardinals. He played with the Louisville Cardinals. In college, and he had a season-ending injury. And so when, I don't know if you remember, Bobby Petrino, who coached the Cardinals, he became the Falcons coach, and he brought Gannon with him.
Yes, Petrino. Okay.
Yeah, he brought Gannon with him from Louisville to the Falcons. So that's how he got into the NFL. He was a graduate assistant in Louisville, and Petrino brought him to the NFL. So that's how his career got started. He's with the Falcons, the Rams, the Titans. He was with the Vikings for a little bit, for like 3 years, and then he followed Frank Reich from the Eagles to Indianapolis, and then he left Indianapolis. Yeah, and then he left Indianapolis and went to the Eagles, and then from the Eagles, after they lost that Super Bowl, after they won that Super Bowl, he was hired by the Cardinals as a coach. And I don't know if you remember, but during that it was a tampering scandal they had, because apparently he interviewed for the coach during the playoffs, the thing you say you hate. And it was a time when they couldn't talk to him, but they didn't find out till after the Super Bowl. And so they ended up making the Eagles and the Cardinals swap third-round picks, and the Cardinals received the Eagles' fifth-round pick because it was a tampering thing. So
it
wasn't big news.
Even though the Cardinals tampered, like the Cardinals tampered. It wasn't the Eagles tampering. But the Cardinals got the benefit and they got another draft pick?
They should have said. It was revealed that Gannon interviewed with the Cardinals the week after the Eagles won the NFC Championship game, which is a period of impermissible contact. And the Eagles front office was pissed because they believed Gannon was distracted in Super Bowl. As a result of the tampering, the Eagles and Cardinals announced that they swapped third-round picks, and the Cardinals received the Eagles the next year. They received 2024 fifth-round pick. And so that's how he ended up with the Cardinals. And then, of course, he sucked for all those years, and they just fired him. And so now
how many years
with
the Cardinals? 3?
2024 he got there in 2024.
So he only coached 2 years with them.
I'm sorry, 2023. His first preseason game was in August of 2023 at the Cardinals. So 2023, 2024, and then this year. So he was there 3 years, and then he got fired. And it wasn't his fault. They put him with Mighty Mouse, and so that's why. And he was always hurt. So anyway,
I saw just to split this real quick. I saw a rumor today that the Jets were thinking about trading the Cardinals. For Murray? They're like, you have Justin Fields. You just want a shorter Justin Fields?
I wouldn't do it. Anyway, so what makes him a quality candidate besides all the NFL experience he has? He has head coach experience. He has defensive, like he's run the gamut. Like, for instance, Jim Leonhard has only been the pass game coordinator. He hadn't been the defensive coordinator. Gannon, he's been it all. He's been one of those, you know how they have the quality control coaches. He's been the pass game coordinator. He's been the defensive coordinator. He's been a head coach, and so that plays in his favor. Yeah, so he's been all of it, and I think he can fix this zone first, only because he excels in zone matches. So he does the zone that Eberflus does, but with a modernization, like two high shells, split field concepts, disguise. He's very Fangio adjacent. So he doesn't run the complete Fangio defense, but it's Fangio adjacent. Because our current defense isn't bad because they play zone. They're bad because they play predictable zone. Like it's like teams can just spam 5 to 7 yards all day, and then they'll find a big 13-yard gain here, 15-yard gain there. He's big on disguise and rotation. He has matchup type rules. Like you said, when the linebackers had to be able to run and cover, do zone and man, all of that. It's not one of those read and react. It's more Sometimes they read and react. Sometimes they are the aggressor. And the whole success is like with Brian Flores. You don't know which one is which. Like you get in there and like, oh man, this is zone. Man, the next thing you know, it's a 8-man blitz, and you have to get rid of the ball real quick because you thought it was zone. He's good at disguising. So the bend but don't break. What we hate that Eberflus does. The reason why it does it only works if you can steal and get a negative play here and there, like a tackle for loss, a penalty. If you can win on third down, and if you can create takeaways. If you can do those three things, a bend but don't break defense is excellent because you don't give up a lot of big plays, but you have to do those three things on a consistent basis. What we did was 0 of those three things on a consistent basis. We didn't create any negative plays. We hardly ever won on third down, and we hardly ever created great, like timely turnovers. Like, oh, we really need to like they've been killing us. We need a turnover right here. Nope, another touchdown. So he has a lot of credibility, which is good. Like I said, he's been all across the defensive side of the ball, like all the positions. So he can come in and say, I've worked with this, I've worked with this, I've worked. So he can build a good weekly game plan for elite offenses because he's done it several times. So that's good. He can handle postseason pressure. He can manage a full defensive staff. He can do the defensive line. Like for instance, Jim Leonhard, he's only been the pass game coordinator, probably only dealt with defensive backs. Not that I'm not saying he can't do linebackers, defensive line, but someone like Gannon is going to come in already with the experience of dealing with the defensive line, the linebackers, and the defensive backs, which includes safeties, which would put him ahead of the class. And of course, like I said, he's a former head coach. So specifically fix our conservative zone-centric defense. He'll upgrade our coverage menu. So by what I mean by upgrading our coverage menu, we don't have to turn over our whole defense for him to get the players he needs. You know, like for instance, when Bill Parcells came, he had to draft for his 3-4 defense. We were a 4-3 defense, so he had to get a lot of different new players to play his defense. With Gannon, we wouldn't have to do that, which is a plus. So we can pick up some extra pieces. We don't have to turn over the defense, get rid of 7 to 8 players, and bring in a whole new team, which I think is pretty good. It's typically compatible with 2 high safeties, which is good because that takes away the big play. Corners who can play off and press coverage, so that's a good thing because with Eberflus, he just wanted corners that could play off. He really didn't care if you could do press man coverage. If you could, I guess that's okay. But with him, it's all about zone off coverage, and they killed us with it because we had 2 press corners in Diggs and Bland. And also, he needs linebackers who can match routes and disguise intentions. That double-A gap blitz things like that, where it's showing pressure, they can fall back. And you don't know if they're coming, when they're coming, and that gives if you have your quarterback thinking too much, that puts them in trouble. One thing I like that he can do that Jim Leonhard was good at, taking away the defense's first read. The first read, taking that away makes them stay in the pocket. Just 1 second longer in the pocket is a lot of time in the NFL. You just make them stay, and that's where the sacks come from. He makes your defense harder to solve, like your guy who's with Brian Flores. He makes it hard, like how you were saying Dak said it was hard to solve that defense. He makes his defenses harder to solve. And that's why if you look back last year, one of the few games that Dak had problems with was the Cardinals. He had plenty, and it really made me mad because their last, I think it was 15 games, they won 1 game out of 15, and it was against us. And they gave Dak a lot of issues because of that. How he does that is late rotations. My favorite term doing all this research, simulated pressures. You're gonna hear that a lot from me. I like simulated pressures. And by doing all those things, the thing that killed Eberflus, predictability. Predictability dies when you can do all those things. And you have easy and you take away those easy 3rd and 4 completions. Like, now we got a whole new set of downs. So that killed me. So the only elephant in the room is, I mean, he sucked as a coach. You hope that he doesn't bring that losing mentality to us when he comes. And he's kind of a goofball. Like I don't want to put him. Yeah, I don't want to put him on a diagnosis, but it's kind of like an Aspergery or like autistic type. Like he just doesn't read the room to where it's like that joke didn't go over well. He probably thinks it's the funniest joke in the world.
He's a defense's equivalent to McDaniel to me. Like,
yeah,
they're such football nerds.
So smart.
You're like, well, you can't even you can't communicate in English about like what you want for lunch. You know what I mean? Like, but I'll sit there and I'm going to tell you all about this cover two and how it's going to break down. But like, I don't know how to explain to you how to vacuum. Like things like that don't make any sense. The biggest thing that I think that I want to inject just so real quick is that.
Go ahead.
Our defense in between coordinators, like our team philosophy changed so big. Like before DQ came over, our philosophy was, gosh dang it, we need turnovers. We're sick of not having turnovers. So we went out and we got a defense coordinator that said, you know what, my game is turnovers. And then we brought him over.
It worked for a little while, but it stopped.
And then the NFL said, you know what, well, we won't throw the ball. We'll just run at the Cowboys because they can't stop shit. And then all of a sudden we were like, you know what, screw these turnovers. We want somebody that's going to be able to stop the run. Didn't work with Eberflus and Zimmer. We thought that their blitzing and everything was going to come in and actually plug up the middle. It didn't. We didn't have the right people.
It didn't work fast enough for Zimmer. It started getting a lot better, like we predicted at the end of the season, but it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, Zimmer's not a fucking NFL coach right now. He doesn't know how to. Just like you said a little bit ago, you have to be able to know how to communicate with this generation and be a successful coach right now. You just cannot be a dictator. Yep. So the thing about it is like now, what type of defensive coordinator are we looking for? Are we looking for stops or are we looking for turnovers? Because both of these guys, these two guys mirror each other really well.
Yeah.
Right? The only thing, the difference is Gannon has a whole lot of experience. Gannon has that, I've been a coach, I've been a head coach, I've been all this, I've been where you come to me, I'll tell you what you need to do. This other guy might, this is going to be the first time that he's sitting in front of all of the press and he has all of the defense to deal with. So, I think that's really the biggest difference that we're going to see between both of these two candidates is the confidence of I've been here before and now look at my fresh new ideas. What do you think?
So I'll just close it out with what I think he'll bring to where we'll be successful. So if you hire Jonathan Gannon, you'll have a safe structural defense. He does bring the conservative DNA. So the main thing I found that a lot of people hated about him, they was like, he's just another Eberflus clone. So the stuff that the reason why Eberflus is unsuccessful is what he does. So he keeps your conservative DNA, but he adds disguise, matchup rules, split field. He raises the floor of what you can do. Communication, standards, stuff like that. He raises where your floor was with Eberflus.
Okay.
And he improves the pass rush without exotic, reckless blitzing. So it'll be a structured defense to where it's like you are going to have to beat us, but it still mixes in the parts that we like with the simulated pressures, getting turnovers. That'll still help us. So that's why I think he would be successful if he were hired. He's like how when the iPod first came out, it was great. It was revolutionary, kind of like Eberflus' defense. It was great, but then of course you got to expound on that after a while. And so I think Gannon is the next step up level, which he did have a good defense in with the Cardinals, and of course he had a great one with because when he was with the Eagles, they were great. As soon as he left, they regressed a lot.
So it was a clear case of he was a good influence on them. Same thing with the Cardinals. He had a good defense, but so we'll see if they hire him. I wouldn't be upset if they hired him, but he's like more like 3 or 4 on my list of hierarchy. Like if I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, I would take Leonhard over him. The more I read about your guy who from the Vikings, I like him. Of course, Brian Flores is always my number one. And then I would take Gannon, probably 3rd or 4th. I'll say 3rd or 4th. But I still would take him if they hired him.
Yeah, it makes sense. I agree with those choices because they're. I mean, if you walk it back, it's just an educated decision on this. I mean, you and I both did was we looked at our players. We also looked at what our front office usually does, and then we looked at the candidates and what best matched that, right?
Yeah.
My what I think is going to happen versus what I wish would happen. I think that White Cotton has more. The front office is not going to want to spend a whole lot of money, right? So White Cotton's going to probably be the cheapest option. I know we're all going to hate that, but it is what it is. I think the top candidates in my eyes for this is Parker, Christian Parker, then Gannon, and then Deronte Jones. In my opinion, and the only reason why I think is Jerry likes the fact that Gannon coached in the NFC East before.
Yeah,
he was an NFL coach.
Familiarity with all of them. Yeah.
We'll bring a little bit of Eagles, what this is what they used to do on Thursdays, some stupid shit like that. But I think those are going to be the top candidates. But I don't get upset at us when Jerry turns around and he hires fucking somebody from Baylor that we have no idea.
One thing he did say was,
you know what I mean?
He was ready to spend some money this offseason. So we'll see if he holds to that. Because, he'll say some stuff, but then he'll do something different. Like last year, before this year, he's like, I'm all in. But he didn't get all in until like midway through the season. Kind of late. I think somebody made all these moves.
Somebody needs to figure out, teach him what all in means, right? Like these political guys, like if you ask them to go to the grocery store, they're like, yeah, you spend $50 on a candy bar? Yeah, easy. Like they have no idea what the
no
reality
idea how much
is,
stuff
right?
costs. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's what I'm kind of thinking is like, but we'll see.
Yeah, let's see. Anyway, so that's our deep dive. I'm excited. The guy's name, Daronte
Jones.
Daronte Jones and Jonathan Gannon. So that's our deep dive versus. So let us know in the comments which one would you prefer. Who would you rather? And give us a couple more people. If they haven't hired anybody by next week, we'll do a couple more deep dives on a couple more people to see who we like and what they bring.
Over under. How many more weeks are we going to go with this? Because
I know, man.
I mean, we're just like we're talking about. Like the Discord is like, hey, when are you guys going to get into like free agents and possible free agents and the draft picks and stuff? And it's like we can't. We need to find out what defensive coordinator.
None of that matters until we get our defensive coordinator because that's going to determine which.
That's like asking your wife, hey, what are you going to make this weekend? And she's like, I don't know who's coming over yet. So you need to tell
exactly.
me.
Like how many people are coming? Yeah, whatever.
Exactly.
So we're going to do that first. So we'll keep at it. We'll keep plugging. We'll keep y'all plugged in, informed as to what's going on. Then you can use our talking points to sound smart to your friends at work and just say the stuff that we say. Anyway, so let's go roll on out. Eddie, say goodbye to the people.
Let's do it.
So we can go get some dinner.
Hey, hell yeah, let's go. I know you're hungry. I do want to make sure I mention one thing because it's kind of was something that hit my heart a little bit today. Be gracious for other people around you, their wins and their successes, right? I mean, I think as humans, we know that we get into this thing where when people around us are successful, we kind of are like crabs in a pot where we pull them back down on us. Like, hey, why am I not being successful? Do yourself a favor. Do the people around you a favor. We're going to make the world a little bit better. Just acknowledge somebody's success around you. Tell them they did a good job. Give them their flowers because they deserve it. not because you're not getting it, and that's really what I was feeling in my heart, and I'm trying to change that now. I'm growing, baby. So grow with me.
Right.
Make sure that you're telling people that hell yeah. I can't wait to see you guys next week. We'll have some. We may go into a little bit more candidates. Maybe we had already hired somebody. We're gonna have a Super Bowl
by
matchup.
Next week, then we'll start digging into that person, and then we'll start looking.
It could be, you know how Jerry likes to work, bro. I mean, it's not the right now. The media is going to have a 2-week. There's going to be a whole week where there's nothing. Nobody's talking about nothing.
Could be hire Cowboys somebody week. The day before the Super Bowl. The day before the Super Bowl, he's going to hire somebody. Yeah,
we'll see.
He's going to want to preempt the Super Bowl hype and make the Cowboys in the news. But anyway, we'll see. But that's Jerry. So we'll see y'all next time. Y'all stay breezy. And
DC for life, baby.
That's right.